Unemployment, Finnish job market. Is the job market actually dead? These are just a couple of the things that we're going to be talking about in today's video. Welcome to Couple of Expats, the channel about living in Finland. Today, I am talking about a topic that's very close to my heart. Why is it close to my heart? Well, because I deeply care about internationals in Finland, and one of the things that internationals in Finland have been dealing with is unemployment. Well, I think that's not internationals, but Finland in general in 2025. But as internationals, we do want to lend our support, do what we can for those who are in this situation today. And that is why we are interviewing someone who has moved to Finland, has gone through the cycle of job searching, and is here to share his thoughts with you. So let's go. Okay, I am really excited to be filming this topic today. Welcome, Salinda and Kalpani. I am so glad that you could join us today, and welcome to Couple of Expats.
Hi, I'm Salinda, and I'm from Sri Lanka, and I moved to Finland about 1 year and 10 months ago with my wife, and she's with me today.
Hi, I'm Kalpani, and I moved to Finland to do my higher studies in future studies.
We moved together for her master's studies since she got accepted for her master's studies in Finland. So that's our story, what brought us here.
So you have such a unique story, and yet at the same time, I think a lot of people want to move to Finland with their spouse. So was it easy or difficult to move to Finland as a spouse?
Well, I wouldn't say it's difficult, but it's not easy at the same time. The easy part was like applying for the master's programs and also finding student apartments. But the difficult part would be visa interview process, because we are from Sri Lanka, so we have to travel to India for that, and the practical problems associated with that is the difficult part. But I think in terms of scholarships for master's program was what made it easier. And also I had the difficult other choice was I had to sacrifice my career of 9 years in sales to come with my wife for her master's studies here.
Yeah. So I suppose we could say that it's a combination of difficult and easy.
Yeah.
It was easy for you to choose your wife, but it was difficult for you to leave behind your really successful career and start from scratch.
Yes, it was difficult. But also, when we came here, it's also another culture shock. But still, we embraced it. And we loved the fact that Finland is very practical and very simple, and also very nature-friendly and nature-loving. So we love it here. I think we embraced it very well.
All right, so we already touched upon the fact that you had a very bright career in Sri Lanka before moving to Finland, and I want to start there. What kind of work did you do before moving to Finland?
Yes, Megha. I was working as a channel development manager for Nestle Sri Lanka, which is a multinational.
Yeah.
So I was involved in channel implementing and developing channel strategies for sales growth. Also, I have had a sales career for about 9 years in pharmaceutical, automobile, and food and beverage industries. And it was a career that I had to sacrifice, but I decided I would choose my wife's goals ahead of mine.
All right. I can only imagine how difficult and strong you are to leave behind such an impressive career and start over in Finland. That's amazing, and I applaud you for it.
Thank you.
What kind of jobs have you had in Finland?
After I moved to Finland, after 2 months, I landed in my first job, which was a cleaning job. I worked as a cleaner aboard the Icon of the Seas, and I worked as an apartment cleaner. So I found this job through a walking interview. And soon after this job ended, I found a job in logistics, doing expertise in warehouse management, metal and electrical assembly. So that's where I worked for about 1.5 years.
Okay, so from window cleaning to logistics, how did that happen?
Well, Megha, that happened through networking. So one of my networks recommended me for this logistics job. So that's how I got it. And I worked there for the last 1.5 years.
When the person recommended you, how many interviews did you have and how was the process?
Well, it was quite spontaneous. I didn't expect, but he had recommended me. And when I went there, it was first for a 3 weeks contract with the company. Well, we worked for 3 weeks. And then because of our performance, they extended our contract. So that's how I ended up there for about 1 year and 6 months. So that's the whole story.
The person who recommended you, was he already working at the same company?
Well, he was also looking for jobs where when he found this potential job opening, there were also more requirements. So he reached out to me. I had known him from Sri Lanka, but he's someone I got to know from Finland when I came to Finland.
Yeah.
With few interactions, I think we built a trustworthy connection. So on top of his mind, he decided he will call me.
So he was looking for a job and then he also recommended you.
Of course.
Okay.
Yes, that's how it happened.
Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to be as concrete as possible in this video with as many actionable points. So what to do, what to not do in the job search process. So was there anything that you faced during job searching that you felt was not working in your opinion and experience?
Yes, Megha, there were some things. Like when I first came to Finland, I tried to go physically to staffing companies and also to restaurants in search of jobs. But it did not work for me. But although it worked for some of my friends, it didn't work for me. Also, I've been participating in these job fairs where it did not like directly link to a job, but I found those job fairs very insightful because there's a lot of connections you can make during the job fairs. You meet recruiters, you can network there, and you can understand the requirements of the Finnish employment, skill requirements. And that is, I think, unique place for you to have a lot of insight. So I recommend newcomers to attend at as much job fairs as possible because there's a lot of insights you can get from them.
Yeah, and I like how you linked that. Yes, you can get jobs at the job fairs, but there's also times where you don't walk away with jobs, but you can walk away with insights.
Of course.
So it's not always that, it's not 0 or 1 that you get. It's not like you get nothing from it. You might learn from it, and that's also important.
Yes, that's very true because learning is the process actually.
So we talked about what didn't work, but you're clearly doing something that's working. So what did work for you?
Yes, there were few things that worked for me. So one was, as I said, that these job fairs give a lot of insights. I found one information about walking interviews from the job fair and how to sign up for notifications for the walking interviews. And I participated in few walking interviews and I make sure that I take a printed CV with me. That's very important. And that was how I got my first job, through a walking interview.
Yeah.
So it was due to the insights that I got from the job fair. And also, as I said, like networking is very important. Network as much as possible because that's how I found my second job in logistics. Also, I have applied through job websites, but like it also has given me results. It's also that a lot of the times you get rejections, but it is the improvement area. You have to ask for feedback from the recruiters. Why, like what can you improve? So then sometimes you will receive feedback.
Yeah.
So you can use that to improve yourself. So also you can have a tracking, which I do myself. So in terms, very normal tracking. So that can track your performance in terms of increasing your probability.
So what do you mean by tracking?
So I have a Microsoft Excel sheet.
Okay, yeah.
So there I put down all the information of jobs I have applied and everything.
This
and
sounds
also
so much like Chris.
and also also the type of CV I have uploaded. So there was at one point I was on sending English CVs, and at one point I changed it to a Finnish CV. So I update that also. So everything that you do,
And
improvements.
then you're tracking the performance
Yes.
and like what kind of feedback.
What kind of feedback I got. So that's interesting. I think that would be a point that anyone can use in their job search.
We've got tracking, we've got networking, we've got going to job fairs and walk-in interviews. Is there anything else that comes to mind?
Yes, Megha. I think it's also important that if you have a LinkedIn profile, to polish it, like improve it. And also if you don't have, maybe you should create one, because I believe it's a reflection of the personality, and you can add much connections there and also showcase you as a personality, your view, your attitudes, like then that can reflect what kind of personality you are, and also recruiters will notice you and that might lead to opportunities.
So I can understand that a sales background in Finland might be a little bit difficult without knowing the local language. Have you had to learn any new skills, or how has that been for you?
Well, it has been difficult to find opportunities in sales because I understand that it requires Finnish language. Because I am from a sales field operations background, so it requires the language. But I've also not had any experience in terms of digital marketing, in terms of new marketing techniques. So I am doing myself courses online, which improves my skills in digital marketing. So that I think will help me. So I've been building connections through LinkedIn as well with people who are experts in digital marketing. And also I try to post my perspectives about sales and digital marketing perspectives on LinkedIn. It's what I'm doing. Maybe it will work for me, but I think that is something new and it's good improvement I'm making in that area.
For sure. For sure, it's good to always keep learning, and I think Finland believes in continuous learning. But I think you also mentioned that at your last job, you learned to drive a forklift?
Yes, Megha, of course. Actually, my last job was very much a lot of new skills for me because it was involved.
You could name some of them?
Yes, it would involve assembly, metal assembly, electrical assembly, which was new skills to get used to.
Yeah.
But actually, my workplace gave me a good training and I was able to quickly learn these skills. And also, it was a new experience to learn driving a forklift because it was never in someone's sales background to drive forklifts. But I think we embraced it positively and I loved it. Driving forklifts and doing all this work in the logistics as a logistics worker. So it's pretty good, I guess. It's a new skill and I love to add that skill to myself, my CV. Yes.
Yeah, and now your CV has new skills from your previous position.
Of course, and it's very nice. And I also try to pursue more education on logistics. So I've done online courses on forklift safety. So it helps, I guess.
I'm sure it does.
I believe I trust the process.
Exactly. Trust the process. That's how it goes, right? All right. So I think your story is a perfect example of how people can change the trajectory of their careers. Of course, not all maybe want to change, but in Salinda's example, he has reinvented himself so brilliantly. Like going from sales to becoming a cleaner, to going and getting a logistics job. I think there's just so much to learn from this guy right here. And I know a lot of you immigrants out there, a lot of you thinking of moving out there, I think it's important to know that you can do it. It might require additional effort. It might require for you to learn new skills, to adapt, to do something new that you've never dreamed of, like driving a forklift, but it is possible. And yes, last but not least, I know that the job market's tough. I know that a lot of people might be feeling discouraged. So what message would you like to tell them?
With the word unemployment, there is a lot of negativity around it, and it's natural for humans to feel worried and stressed. But my suggestion is that use the period of unemployment, see it as an opportunity to learn new skills, to develop your skills, and also network and learn the Finnish language. So I believe that is important, because if you let the negativity engulf you, it will not take you anywhere. Have a positive mindset and attitude that will take you further than your imaginations. And also you will have to evaluate your skills that will help you relate your skills to the Finnish job market requirements. If you require upgrades, you can follow a lot of courses, and also you can network, use networking tools. There are a lot of events for internationals. Do volunteering, it helps. It's not just networking, it's about building human connections, because having trustful relationships will give you potential information about jobs, because having a trustful relationship rather than a transactional one will give you a lot of benefits. So that's also one message I would give. And also, if you have to learn the language, but I would say it's better to first understand what type of learner you are, how you enjoy learning the language. Is it through videos, audios, or books? So if you understand what type of learner you are, you can enjoy the language learning process.
Okay, and I think it's also important for job seekers to keep in mind that things in Finland move at a different pace than what people might be used to.
Of course, Megha. So it can take time. So it's important that you stay patient. Also, there are integration programs. Please follow the process, go through the process, and it will be beneficial for you. Also, use the job coaching services. It is very important. I have known my friends who have gone through the job coaching process and had very good results. So I think those are also some advices I would like to give.
Wow, you have such a story, and thank you so much, Salinda, for sharing your tips. I'm so glad that we could share this with the audience. And for anyone that's watching, if you know of any opportunities that this amazing person could be useful, his LinkedIn link is in the description below, so do not hesitate to get in touch with him. I think you literally saw what a positive person he is, and I believe that any team would be lucky to have you.
Thank you, Megha. Thank you very much for having me here.
Thank you so much. All right. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope you have enjoyed his story, which adds so much different perspectives of what life in Finland can mean. It can be beautiful, but it also requires something called resilience. Thank you for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Tune into our videos, subscribe to our channel. You know that means so much to us, and I will see you in the next video.